Hi everybody and welcome back to another video. Whatever happened to rock and roll rebels? Once upon a time, rock and roll was all about, I guess, rebelling against the establishment, against the status quo, against whatever mom and dad said, if you like. Or at least that was the cliched view of it. And I suppose to a significant degree, there is certainly an element of truth in that anyway. But things have really changed, and I wanted to just ask you a few questions and show you a few things. Wanted to share a few things with you, because I think COVID has killed, to a significant degree, rock and roll. And if you ask me, what do you mean by that, David? What does that mean? Well, let's talk about, for example, Bruce Springsteen, the boss, shall we? And here we have Bruce Springsteen returns to broad day with a vaccine mandate. What? With a vaccine mandate? Baby, you were born to jab. Is he's going to rewrite some of his hits? Here he is. And he's back in Broadway, and he's way ahead of the pack. Look at this. It's exciting. It's to celebrate. This is Forbes. Bruce Springsteen is going to be the first guy on Broadway at a full capacity since the industry shut down last March. Yeah, full capacity. That's great. Oh, hang on a second. His is also the first show to announce a COVID vaccine mandate for audience members. Okay, so if you want to go and see the boss, you've got to sacrifice your body autonomy. I see. Goes on to say that Springsteen is setting a precedent that many industry players seem ready to follow. And then let's just finish on this one. Vaccines should be mandatory for everybody, says producer Barry Diller in an earlier interview. Really, Barry? So forget about my body, my choice, right? That's how it works now, Barry, is it? That's interesting. I wonder, does that apply to other areas, Barry? He says, it's crazy to think otherwise. The only way any of us are going to get protection against each other or feel protected is if you're vaccinated and the person you're inches away from is vaccinated. So there you go. That's and of course Springsteen's 100% behind this. Here he is, Mr. Rock and Roll Rebel. He's 100% behind the idea that if you want to go and see him, you've got to take the jab. You've got to prove you've taken the jab. So so a simpering creature of the establishment is Mr. Ashbury Park. But anyway, not all of the, if you like, the rock establishment is as supine as Springsteen. I'm pleased to say that there are a couple of worthy exceptions. One of those is fellow countryman of mine. In fact, his name's a little bit like mine. And of course, Van Morrison. Van Morrison, who is getting himself a lot of negative publicity from those who used to fawn over him, because he, for example, has criticized, quote, fascist bullies in his anti-lockdown COVID songs. So he's written some really good lyrics here. Look at this. No more lockdown, no more government overreach, no more fascist bullies disturbing our peace, no more taking off our freedom and our God-given right, pretending it's for our safety when it's really to enslave. Now, not much to argue with that. That actually is it's a really good article that you should read it. It's over in the Guardian. You can see the story here if you can look it up. But this guy's been consistent. I mean, he is resolutely opposed to the lockdown, and I don't believe he's requiring people to take vaccines to come and see him sing. He was recently in the news last week when his concert was cancelled at the last moment by the authorities. Oh, what a surprise. But instead, he gave a very impressive impromptu onstage performance where, again, he castigated those who lock us up. So well done to Van Morrison. And again, Van's not alone. There are others. Again, however, anyone who stands against this is going to be castigated, even if they are right up there in the constellation of rock and roll gods. And with that in mind, I wanted just to bring up this one here, Eric Clapton. Eric Clapton. Obviously, I'm sure everyone listening and watching this will know who Eric Clapton is. Rolling Stone instantly demonizes him by saying Eric Clapton's anti-vaccine diatribe blames propaganda for disastrous experience. Well, this is talks about the fact that here we see Eric Clapton. You all recognize him there, not looking too bad. He details his disastrous health experience after receiving the COVID-19 vaccine and blamed the propaganda for overstating the safety of the vaccine in a letter. Now, I like the way that the the Rolling Stone puts these things in quotation marks, as if there's any debate on this. I've watched a video of Eric Clapton talking about his personal experience. That's all it is, of course, no more than that. But I guess personal experience is the best experience. And he had very disastrous reactions to having to have, because he's taken both jobs, but he has had bad reactions to that. And therefore, I think he has collaborated with Van Morrison on a single coming out. And he is pretty much, I think, on the side of the, if you like, the anti-lockdown lobby. So because he's on that side, he, along with Van Morrison, he's a bad guy. He's a bad man. Van Morrison's a bad man. But boss, Bruce, the boss, Springsteen, he's a good guy because he is making it clear if you want to come and see him, you got to take the vax. You got to do what you're told. So rock and roll's come a long way, hasn't it? From initially going against what the man says to, in the case of Springsteen, being simperingly apologetic and demanding that you do exactly what the man says. So what do you think of this one, folks? Do you stand with Van the Man and Clapton, or do you think Bruce Springsteen is just right to demand everybody takes a vaccine if they want to go and see him? Tell you what, I'll not be seeing Springsteen until the day after hell freezes over, but you may think different, in which case leave your comments in the threads below. Speak to you soon. Bye.